lefty sets. And let's do it. Here in the Bronx. First pitch. Up and away, and we're underway. The crew chief is Dan Bellino. He's behind home plate. Clint Bondrak at first. Tony Randazzo at second. Phil Cuzzi is over at third. And a strike.
Yeah, when you think about it, Michael, if he wins tonight, that'd be 19 wins. He won't have another start in that regular season, so there'll be no 20-game winners in baseball again this year. Huh?
Dying Reed. Grounded foul. 1-2. Well, it's different because you only get 32 starts.
Yeah.
And in the past, you get much more. Let's check out the Yankee defense, brought to you by your Tri-State Chevy dealers. Bellinger, Grisham, and Judge. Left to right in the outfield. Infield, McMahon, Volpe, Chisholm, and Goldschmidt. Rice is behind the plate. First time he's catching Max Fried all year. Grounded to third. That's foul ball.
Got him, yes.
Once it crossed third base, then it became Phil Cuzzi's call. He immediately put his hands up to signal foul ball.
Paul Goldschmidt throwing it around the horn there. Thought we got the first out. All right, we're off to a good start. Foul ball.
Interesting to see Rice behind the plate. All of Fried's games have been caught by Wells or a star. Rice has never gotten a turn, and Boone talked it over with Fried. Said, "Yeah, let's do it," because Fried might be pitching to Rice in a playoff series. Swing and a miss. Line drop down on strikes. Hot Paul, time for the keys to the game. Brought to you by your local Kia dealers.
Well, there's a lot at stake. I mean, clinching last night, but home field for the wild card still out there. The American League East is still out there, and early and often, you needed an unbelievable comeback last night in the ninth. You can't let Chicago stay in the game. You got to put them away early, and then they'll probably roll over, and you go on to tomorrow. And right now, Michael, the bullpen has been hot. Last 6 games, over 480 yards.
都不是不吹到Curtis Mead.
Ready for the playoffs.
You like that song, don't you? Right down.
I guess you know it, huh?
Oh, yeah.
A little Van Halen for you?
Right back to the 3-time Gold Glove winner.
Got him, yes.
Let's check out what Dan Bellino's all about. Hitter-friendly, but not pinned. 18 big league season. We told you he's the crew chief. Fewer high strikes and fewer inside strikes.
就是不是我们那个Quoro.
367 number against left-handed pitcher. There's a strike.
It's a little different kind of lefty, though, we got out there tonight, Michael. That's pretty good.
0-2.
What a grab back there in the stands. If you're coming to a ball game, Michael, you get a barehanded catch in the first inning, you're set for the day.
Right. House is money after that. 0-2. 1-2. Carroll's 7 hits in his last 40 at-bats, so a little bit of a slump. 2-2. White Sox have lost 9 of 10. They have a terrible record on the road, 25-51. And on the road, they've lost 4 straight and 5 of 6. One more loss, and they have their 3rd straight 100-loss season. Yankees 4-1 in 5 games against them so far this year. 3-2. Did make the play on Camaro's blooper that won the game last night. Yankees looking for their 90th win. They're 89-68, 21 games over 500. That's their season high. 27 years old. Came up when the roster's expanded, has a 3.24 ERA in 8 games this month, but does have those 10 walks. He missed 2 months in May and June with a left lat strain. Boston jumps out to a 3-0 lead over Toronto. Top of the first inning.
Got to realize Crochet's pitching for Boston, who can be unhittable.
Stawiający podłączmy Grisham.
First inning.
You'd have to think that Toronto is starting to feel the pressure. The Yankees keep winning, and that number keeps going down. Now it's just one game. Seemingly bad call against George Springer on the ball hit over third base. Well, like it was fair, they called it foul, and he got punched out on the next pitch. And our friends at John Boy read his lips, and he said to the umpire, hey, if you guys want the Yankees to win, just tell us. And
Never.
I mean, look. I mean, whoever wrote that script, probably a friend of Stephen King. Yeah, let's let the Yankees go 50-31. They dig themselves out of a hole last month.
I mean, the whole division was in Toronto's hands, so that was kind of a weird comment. All they could do was win some games, and they haven't been able to do it.
Oh boy, yes. With you to the 99, Aaron Judge.
Home run, and it would be his 4th 50 home run season or more.
But his OPS barely fits in the box, Michael. That's a large number.
How about another intentional walk yesterday? 34 intentional walks, and now that ties Ted Williams, who had 34 in 1957 for the most in American League history. But how about this ball? That ball gets away, allowing Grisham to go to second. The Major League record, Bond, 120.
Yeah, that was absurd that year. I mean, just the wild pitch, and all of a sudden the Yankees are already set up there. But 120.
2004.
Why even take batting practice? Wow. You're not even going to get to swing the bat.
1-1 on Judge. 1-2.
This has not been able to square it out. A lot of fastballs. You don't see that very often. Just going in there and Judge.
Cal Raleigh leads Major League Baseball with 58 home runs. Schwarber 54. Ohtani 53. Judge is next. Now 49. Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. Said Clint Von Graff. Close. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Judge. Grisham's at second. And the count is full of 3-2. Last 12 games, Judge hitting 405, 15 for 37. In September, hitting 333. Degrees. They don't even know anymore. There is some rain in the forecast, especially tomorrow, but I haven't heard much about tonight.
I think it's later tonight, Michael.
Mom is inside my White Sox pitching coach.
Aaron Judge on base percentage.
Yep.
586. Wow. A good on base percentage, anything over 4, it puts it into perspective, right?
I mean, that's like an on base percentage in the beer league.
Exactly.
Ethan Katz, the pitching coach, goes out and talks with Elliott. Ethan Katz was the pitching coach for Westlake in LA when they had Max Fried on the mound for them.
bullpen up early. You knew that it wasn't going to go long, but I'm sure that Venable would like to see him get through the first inning.
The field's number 35, Cody Bellingham.
Home runs and 100 ribbies, although he's been struggling of late. 5 for his last 36. 1-0. You know, you mentioned we don't know what the White Sox are going to do, what their plan is, and because of that, Boone wanted to make sure he got Goldschmidt in and Rice in. And you're not going to match up against everybody they bring in, but you want to be somewhat evenly distributed.
We got a lot of lefties in their bullpen too, so you want Goldschmidt in the lineup to get some at bats. And you know, you cannot take Ben Rice out of the lineup right now the way he's swinging the bat.
Grisham at second, Judge at first.
Great point you made also that you never know in the playoffs. You know, Ben Rice might be catching 3, so you better get some work.
The 3-0. Ball 4, 3.
Ball 4, yes.
Bases for the Yankees in the first inning. That brings us in.
This was the closest pitch, but Gambolino felt like it did not hit the corner, which it did.
Just the number 27, John Carlos Stanton.
Now, Stanton's been striking out a lot of late. 35 strikeouts his last 78 plate appearances. So when he came off the IL, he was locked into everything. Great plate discipline, but now swinging to some pitches that he was hitting. 2-0. Having trouble finding the strike zone.
Well, this is obviously not a comfortable spot. If you're Fraser Hillard out there, bases loaded, can't get the ball over the plate, and you got a guy at the plate that can hit on a mile.
3-0.
Place. There's Tony was here. I could ask him out there. You can't throw the ball over the plate. They just keep walking to the plate, but guys that want to just put a big number up.
All likely that Stanton has the green light here. Expecting Eller to just try to get a strike. He does, and Stanton took. Loaded, nobody out, bottom of the first inning. The lefty deals. 3-2. See no rain on the screen, Paul.
I don't even know anymore. When scatter report for the weather?
I guess we know now. Payoff. Fly ball right field. Baldwin has pretty good arm. He'll make the catch. Tagging and just bluffing is Grisham. Throw comes all the way home. So from 3-0, he gets Stanton to fly out to shallow right. Sunday, Rice came up with the bases loaded, Paul.
Yeah, off the lefty top of the 10th. Well, that was a poor spot right there. Grand slam. Really put an exclamation point on that road trip.
On Rice. Last 11 games, Rice 17 for 37. That's 459 with a 487 on base percentage. Strike. 1-1.
Uh-oh, bad weather going on in New York.
Time for the Ponchos. 1-1. Check swing. 2-1.
Eller's delivery, it's a sidearm delivery, so as a lefty you're always kind of looking away because you know they kind of sling it across the plate. That ball up and in kind of tied him up.
3-1 on Rice. 2. Pitches for Ellard. Foul back. Rice continues the battle.
29 pitches, 3 walks. Maybe that happens across the plate. That's kind of hard to do, right?
He still has a chance to work out of it. 3-2. Swung on and missed. He got him on the slider. 2 away now. And that'll bring up Goldschmidt. Will Goldschmidt face Ellard?
Well, no. Nowhere in his mind did Ben Rice see that he would see a breaking ball. The guy's been struggling with control. He just went with it. Got Rice way out in front for a swing and a miss.
All right, so Venable's going to go to the bullpen. He will bring on Cannon to face Goldschmidt with the bases loaded.
It's pitching change side by White Sox manager. Was missing the 48 Paul Goldschmidt.
He didn't figure that Ellard was going to end up facing Goldschmidt because Goldschmidt's so much better against lefty pitching. But I'm sure Venable did not think he was going to go to his righty in the first inning. At least he was hoping that wasn't the case. 1-1. The other way. Foul ball. Goldschmidt. Cannon deals. Swing and a miss. How about that? Bases low. Miguel Vargas against Max Fried. First pitch is low. 1-0.
Was missing the 20 Miguel Vargas.
But not to be.
Surprised. We looked this up, Mike. I want to ask you, bases loaded, nobody out. What's your percentage of scoring?
I would say it has to be 78%.
85%. And you know, the average is over 2.5 runs. So you let it get away from him there.
Vargas leads off the second with a single. And also, look at that inning, Paul. 6 players came to the plate. 1 person put the ball in play. 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and the short fly ball to right field by Stanton.
The breaking ball just didn't have the bite that he usually gets. Vargas able to just hit it to the left side, find a hole.
Here it is Colson Montgomery. So I have a stat that's going to surprise you.
All right.
You can say, well, Michael, that surprised you.
What's up? What's up? Colson Montgomery.
Picked up a home run yesterday. His 19th home run. 19 home runs by a primary shortstop. That's the most ever in Major League history through his first 66 games.
And you know, when you say most ever in history in baseball, yeah, that surprises me because there's been a lot of guys play this game and a lot of great players, but that's an impressive stat. So yes, Michael, I'm surprised.
I told you.
Good job.
A good throw there by Fried, probably against Vargas. Now, James was somewhat dubious about that stat. I got off the White Sox notes, and he wanted to check to see if I was right. I looked to my left, and he was checking the notes.
Yeah.
There's no way that Kay got that right.
He checks on everything I say. That's what all those fingers are going over there. He's not checking up and up. He's just checking what I'm saying.
1-1. home run yesterday.
Yeah, there was no doubt here. Changeup came down and in, and he just crushed it a long way. I don't see him up there very often.
The 2-1. 3-1. Since the All-Star break, third in the American League in home runs, second in the American League with 49 ribbies.
An impressive second half.
Yep. That one is ripped to right field. That's going to be in there. One hop up against the wall. Fielding it out there is Judge. And he fires the second. He really fired it in there, which is a good sign as Vargas moves to third and he holds Montgomery to a single.
Yeah, that's probably the first ball you've really seen Aaron Judge let go. Max Fried decided to just go after him there. He got a pitch up in the strike zone, just got hammered. But watch, there was no hesitation. He just let this one fly.
They've been very careful with him, letting loose, and I think that's the first time we've seen him really fire the ball. Here's Sosa, first and third, nobody out. 1-0.
这是的 50 lead London Sosa.
Back-to-back curveballs, both the same pitch, just didn't have enough bite to get down into the strike zone.
High fly ball. That's going to get a run in. Bellinger is there.
Got him, yeah.
He'll score. Throw comes at the second. Sack fly for Sosa. Team leading 7-2, and the White Sox lead 1-0.
Yeah, so we were talking yesterday with his 21 home runs and now 72 RBIs. That leads a team in Chicago.
Left field to Roy Schultz.
Just saw the velocity on Judge's throw, 85.8 miles per hour. That's his fastest throw since being put back into the outfield. Corey Julks takes up and in, 1-0.
You know, when you have an injury or something like Aaron Judge is going through, the last thing that comes around is you believe in your mind, you don't think about it. Because most of the time you're trying to hold back a little bit, you don't want to re-injure it. As soon as you get it through your mind that, you know, I can let go of it and it's not going to hurt me, then you're off to the races.
And the Yankees will feel much more comfortable having Judge in right field every game rather than having to have Stanton out in the outfield so Judge could DH. 1-1. McMahon goes to second and throws it into right field. But Montgomery stays put. A little bit low. We'll have to take a look to see if Chisholm had a real chance at it. That'll be an E5.
Yeah, really, just kind of came across it, and I think Jazz can catch that ball. It's just he kind of got in between of short hopping and then catching it on the fly. But obviously not a ball that you're going to be able to turn to at that point. So you just got to make sure you square up and catch that ball and get one.
I almost think that's an E4 ball. I don't think that's on McMahon. E5. Wow. Surprising. That ball was in the air.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that McMahon had a good grip on this ball. It just looked like something was off a little bit. Yeah, he kind of bobbled it, and that way he threw a palm ball. And it just didn't get his fingers around the ball and just kind of lawn darted it. But still, again, you know, you would expect Jazz to make that play.
Left field to between Brooks Baldwin.
Brooks Baldwin. Yankees against Baltimore did not allow a run, so he's given up one so far. Well, he looked so sharp in the first inning. I don't know if he's lost his release point, rhythm. He's struggling a bit.
Yeah, you look over and all of a sudden, your first pitch strikes 1 out of 8. That's just not Max Fried.
Left center.
Got him, yes.
Fires in the bullpen. 2 outs.
I love what Bellinger does there. You know, there's no reason to stay around and cause miscommunication and confusion. Once you hear the center fielder call the ball,
between Michael A. Taylor.
Because he can see you out of his corner, the corner of his eye. Just get out of the way. Then there's no indecision.
Here's Michael A. Taylor. Came in the 9th inning to play center field to tighten up the defense. Did not make the play on the Caballero single. Paul and I kind of looked at each other and thought, well, he should have a play on that. But then we looked up the analytics, and it wasn't a high catch probability.
Yeah, that's very surprising to me with his speed and the way he can play defense. I truly think that he didn't either know the score, kind of lost track of something, because, you know, with 2 outs, you have no play at the plate there. You have to go all out, try to catch that ball.
0-2. Taylor really struggling offensively. Last 31 games. 8 hits and 66 at bats. That's 121. First and second, 2 men out, 1 run in. White Sox lead 1-0. Top of the second. And that command not there this inning. Strikes, 2 outs, 2 on. Second inning. White Sox lead 1-0. Number 9 hitter, the center fielder Michael A. Taylor at the plate. Pitch. Swing and a miss.
Got him, yes.
1 run, 2 hits, 1 error. That's 2 men left on base. Go to the bottom of the second. 1-0. The end of the regular season is approaching, but keep posting your pictures to social media with the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe 5. They've changed the era from McMahon to Jazz. So if you're keeping score at home, take note of that. And here's Jazz Chisholm to lead off.
You know, I knew every year when the playoffs were getting close is when the 7 o'clock games is pitch dark. You know, in the summer, what do you play in the 3rd inning almost? But, you know, you get late towards the fall here, and all of a sudden it's dark at game time.
Two on Jazz. Still on 2. Chisholm, Volpe, and McMahon. One and two.
loving the ball down and in. So if they love it down and in, well, throw it down and in as a ball. Good pitch right there.
There's Anthony Volpe. He got that big hit to start the ninth inning last night. So Anthony, last 6 games, 8 for 20, 955 OPS. Also has done well against the White Sox this year, 8 for 18. Strike. So Paul, you look at the White Sox, 58-99. That's an awful record. They have a 21-game improvement from last year. So I mean, that's a big stride.
Yeah. When you lose 121, chances are you got to get somewhat better.
Volpe's been sitting on 19 home runs. Major league record, the Twins have it. 8 players with 20 or more home runs. He would be number 8 if he gets one over the wall before Sunday. That one got Carroll. Cannon, 25 years old, second big league season. Name for pitcher.
Cannon?
Cannon, yeah.
A cannon for an arm.
That's right. The last 3 Yankees have struck out. Bryce, Goldschmidt, and Chisholm. 2-2 count on Volpe. Driven to left field. And that ball is...
Yes!
He makes the turn. He's going for 2, and he's going to make it for the double. He almost had a 20 home run.
Always been able to get to that inside pitch. This ball kind of tails in. He just pulls his hands in to get the barrel there and lines it off the left field wall. And with his speed, it's going to be an easy double.
The visit with 19 wide McMahon.
It's going to serve him well because it's almost like he's going the other way, but he's quick enough to pull his hands in and line it to left field. And that's just a great approach, especially with 2 strikes.
So now for his last 21. McMahon's been struggling. 4 hits in his last 41 at-bats. And a shorter stretch, 2 for 23. 2-0. On the glove. A lot of people, today, social media, some shows on TV and radio questioning why the Yankees celebrated the way they did when, they have higher aspirations than just getting in as a wild card. But, you were talking with me before the game. You mentioned that something that Joe Torre told you guys.
Yeah, we were kind of in the same boat. We knew we were going to go to the playoffs, but we were, we clinched the wild card, but obviously we were going to win the division. But I kind of said, what are we celebrating for? And Joe kind of stepped in and said, hey, you know what? Never take this for granted. This isn't the final, the final box, as we talked about checking, but don't ever take it for granted. Celebrate. But then being able to close the book and get back out here and win tonight.
Swing and a miss. McMahon down on strikes, 2 away.
underneath the ball. Sometimes you look that he's so close that, he kind of cuts himself off where he cannot get his hands in the barrel of the bat out to the ball and stay through it.
Here's Grisham. Ball back. Take that one down into the press box. Well, the playoffs began today. Here's what it would look like. Yankees would host the Red Sox. Guardians would host the Tigers. Buys would go to the Blue Jays and the Mariners. Mets and the Dodgers. San Diego and the Cubs. Buys to the Phillies and Milwaukee.
And if he would have done that yesterday, the Mets weren't even in it. So they ended up coming back last night, so now they are in it at this point.
Zawiódł podłączyłem Grisham.
Having a terrific year with 33 home runs and 72 ribbies.
Our scouting report on Dan Bellino has been to the point because anything close has gone the hitter's way to this point. Makes you hitter friendly, right?
I guess. One other point about the celebrate that you don't even consider. The Yankees make the playoffs a lot. I mean, that's part of being a Yankee. But there are a lot of guys on the team that have not made the playoffs, and they get a chance for the first time to celebrate.
Absolutely. And again, it's not that, celebrate we won the World Series. It's celebrate, hey, we've got to this point where we'll be playing in October.
60 times the Yankees have made the postseason. The next closest, the Dodgers, 21 away. It's not even close. Pretty amazing. And they've made it 8 times in the last 9 years and 26 times in the last 31 seasons since 1995. And the next closest, the Braves, with 21 over that time.
By fields of a 99, Aaron Judge.
So here's Judge. He walked in the first inning. First and second, 2 outs. White Sox lead 1-0. Going deep to right center field. Going back, Taylor. Track. Wall.
Home run. Yes. Aaron Judge got 50 home runs.
I'm sure within his mind that, he was thinking, I need to get to 50. And, it's such a magical number. Now, 4 times possible MVP, you never know. Boy, a big 50th home run. Put the Yankees on top. Marco, I don't know that you're ever going to have another player that makes your call so easy. Because when he hits them, there's no doubt about it.
So now he's tied with Babe Ruth.
Just say that again, Michael.
Yeah, he's tied with Babe Ruth. So Babe Ruth did it 4 times. Mickey only did it twice. Roger did it that once, and A-Rod did it once. High pop-up. Montgomery, outfield grass, puts it away, and that'll do it. From one swing. way possible. We almost take it for granted.
It's unbelievable to me, and I never do, because I know how hard this game is, and I know how far he's come since he put that uniform on for the first day. But it's just it's amazing.
My drop.
For this team and this organization.
The Yankees have a 3-1 lead, a 1-0 count on my drop. So, that home run gives him 4 career seasons with 50. He's been pitched around a lot, so he hasn't had many opportunities to hit one out.
Yeah, recently, I mean, he's had a great September. He has a lot of walks, but, average-wise, and I thought it was very important. A lot of power hitters pick up nothing but home runs. Aaron Judge has stated numerous times how important it is for him to still hit 300, and at this point, leading the league in hitting.
So he had 52 in 2017, 62 in 2022, 58 last year, 50 this year. And he also becomes the first player ever to hit 50 or more home runs 4 times within his first 10 seasons.
Aside you, Michael. You think they know it?
Ground ball, Volpe. Nice hop.
Got him, yeah.
Teammates know the number. They know the magic of 50. So, 4 seasons of 50 or more. We mentioned Babe Ruth. In Major League history, only 2 others have done it. Mark McGwire did it 4 times. Sammy Sosa has done it 4 times. And Judge's home run breaks a tie he had with Alex. Alex Rodriguez did it 3 times. The hot corner view. Ronaldo likes it. 2-0.
That's a big pickup, too, because of the first inning, at base of low.
With I could have
If you're Max Fried, now boom, a big swing by Aaron Judge. You go out, try to find that control that you had in the first inning and start shutting the White Sox down here.
Also, the 3 ribbies give him 824 in his career, so he passes Robinson Cano, and he's in 16th place on the Yankees all-time list. Next up is Greg Nettles with 834. And you know who's after that, Paul?
Well, if you ask me that question, it might be me.
Paulie O'Neill, 858. You're number 14.
I don't like my number at this point. Could you put a 1 in front of it or something?
Which way I could have meet.
Cowball.
I need to transfer my ribbies. You know how you transfer money? I'll need to transfer my ribbies from Cincinnati. Look at these numbers.
So the MVP race, Aaron has a big lead over Raleigh and average. Raleigh leads in home runs and ribbies. OPS better. Runs are better for Judge. Fangraphs WAR is better. And Baseball Reference WAR is much better. It's going to be an interesting MVP vote. Drifting over is Grisham to retire.
Got him, yeah.
The MVP voting, 15 teams in the American League, each city has 2 voters. So that'd be 30 votes. And in the history of the MVP, there's only been 1 time. And that was...
The more you dig into the numbers, obviously Raleigh has had a phenomenal year. Don't get me wrong, and he's leading the league in RBIs. He's leading in home runs. But if you take every other category, Aaron Judge is leading, and it's just it's sad to think that one of these guys will not win the MVP. But Michael, if you and I had a vote, I think if we're watching it every single day, what he means to this team, I think we're casting our votes for Aaron Judge.
I definitely would. And you wonder, though, that one's chopped back to 3, so he wants to...
Got him, yeah.
Look at the numbers of who's on the best here, but we'll know later. Shot is giving the Yankees the lead. Home run, a 3-run shot is giving the Yankees the lead. Red Sox over the Blue Jays, middle of the fourth. Yankees a thin game behind Toronto. Cannon deals to Stanton, up and away, 1-0.
Stanton's going really good. He kind of really doesn't stride, but his weight is kind of going towards the pitcher. You saw that last swing. He's kind of coming around it, and his balance is off just a little bit.
Drops out to Meade, 1 away. Yeah, he's struggling right now. 7 for his last 35.
Let's wait till Ben Rice.
Here's Ben Rice. He struck out for the second out in the first inning when the Yankees had the bases loaded and 1 down. In on the hands, foul back. Their 90th win of the season. They're 89 and 68. That one ripped into right center field. That ball is off the glove.
Yeah.
His hammer. Taylor got a great jump off. It goes off the heel of his glove, but with the play in front of him, Ben Rice can really see it, know that he can just cruise into third base with the ball rolling down the white. They covered that outside pitch like it was nothing, and boy, there's a sigh of relief. When you see an outfielder dive and the ball doesn't go in his glove, it just makes you want to run.
That's what he did for a triple. White Sox bring the infield in, trying to cut off the
Let's listen to the 48 ball cold stat.
Struck out to end the first inning with the bases loaded and 2 outs. The triple, the Yankees' third hit of the evening. We're in the bottom of the third, 3-1 Yanks. Waved at that pitch, a cutter. Leading Detroit 2-1, bottom of the third. Paul, if Detroit doesn't come back to win the Central, it'll be one of the great collapses in baseball history.
I was going to say the same thing. You're going to be talking about this for years, huh?
Yep.
They'll be in team meetings every year where teams with big leads, hey, you got to stick with it. You got to finish these guys out.
Yeah.
Himself a hole. It's a fastball away off the plate, and it just dinks it out to right field. Just a great piece of hitting. Well, that's a lot of plate coverage right there.
Here's Josh Chisholm. 1-0.
Such was the 2013 Jazz Chisholm Jr.
79 runs batted in for the Yankees second baseman. Driven out in the left center field and deep. Who's going to get that one? No.
Yes.
Chance to get over there. He was piece of hitting by going the other way. The Goldschmidt had a good read on it. And once he got the wheels in motion going around third, there was no stopping, and there was no play at home plate, too, so it worked out well.
I'm kind of surprised that Rojas was holding them up. And there was no throw. In the year for Chisholm.
Johnson does some good stuff offensively, and again, Goldschmidt took the read right in front. He's right there. He judged himself. I could score on this ball, and once he saw the stop sign, I'm already motored. Unless I just kind of pop slide to slow down, I might as well just keep going.
Well, talk to me about how hard it is to stop when you're running down.
You know what? Once you make up
Shortstop 11, Anthony Volpe.
Extremely hard, and that's why a lot of third base coaches will just go way down the line to give as much time as they have, because you know your feet jam into the front of your shoes, everything. Sometimes you can pop slide, but still, that takes a lot of time.
0-2 on Volpe. Boston now leads 4-0 over Toronto. That's in the top of the fifth inning at Rogers Center in Toronto. Biggest blown lead. Well, Detroit was up 14 games. Now the biggest blown lead over the second place team, the 1951 Dodgers, they had a 13-game lead. Cleveland was 15 and a half games behind. The biggest comeback was the 1914 Miracle Braves. They were 15 behind. So there's a whole lot of firsts that might be happening. Now the 1978 Red Sox were up 14 on the Yankees, but their biggest lead over second place all year was 10.
The big thing last night with the victory is, you know, Scooble had them shut down. You go to the bullpen, you actually lose his start. So he's kind of their stopper. So, you know, Cleveland, smoke and mirrors, I don't know how they're doing it, but they're doing it.
They're doing it mostly with pitching, Paul. For the last month, they've gone with a 6-man rotation. That'll bring up Ryan.
Number 19, Ryan McMahon.
McMahon swings and misses. Struck out in the second. You seen anything with McMahon, Paul?
If I had, this is just my opinion, is he closes himself off. And what I mean is his stance is closed, and then he even closes it more as he steps, which kind of, you're not able to really open up and get the bat head out. And when you do, then you're not able to drive through the ball. So he starts close and he goes close, and then he has to come off the ball just enough.
And a strike. I was sniffing around the last couple of days, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
And I said, well, Fried could pitch Sunday, if need be. Oh, he could have pitched yesterday. That would have been normal rest. You pitch him Sunday, though, and his short rest, Thursday, Friday. I said, no, it'll still be normal rest. And I said that the Yankees are up by a game over the Blue Jays, and they have to win. Would they go with Fried? And the answer was absolutely not.
Yeah, it'd be a tough chance because, you know, if you don't close him out, then you've lost him for the wild card. And, you know, you need him in the playoffs.
I mean, what a magnificent year for Fried. Now, when you consider, and we said this in the open, they signed Fried because, you know, that was the plan after Soto went to the Mets. They brought in, you know, Fried, Goldschmidt, Bellinger. But Fried was to make the top of their rotation special. And if Garrett Cole doesn't get hurt, you got Cole, Fried, and Rodon. Right now, you're wondering who's going to be the third Yankee starter in the postseason. You wouldn't have to worry about that if Garrett Cole was healthy. And not only was he brought in to be that second ace, but with Cole going down, he had to be the ace. And you know what? He has been.
How many big games has he pitched this year? I mean, we had stats early in the year. Every time the Yankees lost and he was on the mound, he won. You know, and he did go through the little period in the middle of the season, and I do think it was kind of blister related, but lately he's been his usual self, pitching great.
3-2 on Vargas, Montgomery on deck. We're in the fourth inning. 5-5-1 for the Yankees, 1-2-0 for the White Sox. Strike three. Vargas down.
Got him. Yes.
Let's see what's made him so good. Jackass 3D by Google Club.
Well, he's kind of revamped his fastball where he can move it off a little center and throw that cutter, and he's used that a lot this year. He's always had the great breaking ball, and he knows how to pitch. He's used his changeup a lot to the right-handed hitters tonight. And at times, he can be overpowering at 97 when he needs it.
Well, I want to put correction. With this being Wednesday, if they did start him on Sunday,
Shortstop, Woodwall, Colson, Montgomery.
So they had intention, they would have started him yesterday, which would have been our normal rest, but they gave him an extra day because of the off day on Monday. They kept everybody in rotation. Fly ball left field on the run, Bellinger, and he can't get there. It's a fair ball, and it bounces into the seat. So a double for Montgomery, who's 2 for 2 against Fried.
Well, Cody Bellinger went a long way for this, and there was this, you see, it's not even a chance to dive, because if it doesn't go into the bleachers, that could end up going down in the corner. So sometimes you just cannot get to it where he was playing to start.
So here's Sosa, sac fly in the second, accounting for the only run for the White Sox. Left field foul. Somehow avoided the screen and got into the seats. White Sox have not been good with the runners in scoring position. Their average for the year near the bottom, 234 in these situations. Sosa swings into the glove of Rice, 2 away.
Yeah, this is the way he's gone about getting righties out, is get ahead inside and then use that changeup, and he's been able to fade it off to the outside corner. The ball was actually fouled off into Rice's glove.
5 strikeouts, no walks for Fried.
Now, on those 5 strikeouts, Michael, 4 of them have been on that changeup.
Chokes with a fly ball to center. Grisham's there.
Got him. Yes.
Throwing
issue because it wasn't playing a lot. He got up. I'll tell you that after last year.
Sure, it's Michael and Paul. Big sleep with the mustache. Pretty accurate. Kind of fun. Jason Dominguez all smiles when he was telling me that it arrived at his locker the other day, and he loves it, showing some support for his fellow outfielder.
And a ground ball to first. One away, so the big sleep has gone deep 33 times. Who would have guessed that?
Not me in April, I'll tell you that. After, last year he had a little issue because it wasn't playing a lot. He got an opportunity this year and just took off, and his defense has always been sound. His offense has been good. It was good to hear Meredith chime in. I thought your mic was broken or something. I haven't heard you in a while.
I am right here, Paul.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Right over Michael's shoulder and saying in case he does something wrong?
Just perched above you in case you guys get out of line. Reel it back in.
Well, Cody will be here in a couple days, so you better get ready if we
really have my work cut out for me then.
Judge has walked in, hit a home run, his 15th for the year in the second inning, a 3-run shot. 1-1. Last year, Judge hit his 50th and his 51st home run in the same game. Now that's called foreshadowing.
Yeah, I see what you're doing. He's got that feeling. Just watching his at bats lately that he had a couple really good swings his first at bat, ended up walking. And there's no doubt about the home run, but you just see these on every pitch right now.
And the 2-2. Missed outside. Good fastball. 3-2. That's the home run race right now with Cal Raleigh leading the majors with 58. And the payoff. High fly ball. Center field. Taylor there. And puts it away. Now on his 50th, we'll take a look at the exit velocity on that home run presented by Spectrum. 106.9 off the bat. Almost 400 feet, 392 into the bullpen. Meredith, I wanted to get your take. You've been here with us for a long time. You've covered a lot of champagne celebrations.
Again, I thought I gave up another one. Go ahead.
So Meredith, how did that rate? I mean, was it over the top? Were they somewhat subdued?
They were having a good time in there. There was a lot of champagne flying in that clubhouse, Paul. It was pretty electric in there.
Were you part of it?
Well, I was drenched. Yes, I was in there. I was talking to guys. There was champagne being.
Nobody toasted you? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what happened. But
backhanded by me, it's going to be an infield hit. Bellinger.
But Michael, to your point, Aaron Boone always saying it's important that you celebrate these moments throughout the course of a long baseball season. The message was very clear in the postgame. They want more than just getting into the playoffs. They still believe they have a shot at this AL East title, and then ultimately they want to be back in the World Series. And just about everybody said that in that postgame during the celebration. But it is kind of fun, watching them enjoy the fruits of their labor, having a little bit of fun, but then quickly turning the page today. But perhaps the real MVP
Just to do with some young close
and the rest of the staff down there. They didn't make it easy. Caballero obviously walks it off. They didn't have a lot of time to get that clubhouse ready. He told me they got it all together in about 5 to 7 minutes.
Straight back here. And into the radio booth of the White Sox.
Yeah, Michael, we were talking about that on the way out yesterday in the tunnel. That they only had minutes. It's not like they were up 10-1. So.
And luckily there was some celebration with Caballero out there on the field. Maybe bought him a couple more minutes, but they have a lot of experience in setting up that clubhouse over the years, Paul. So I think that helped. Now, one thing they didn't do, they usually put a tarp on the floor so it doesn't get wet. They didn't have time to do that. So when you walked in there today, you could tell that they were trying to clean the rugs. But it didn't smell like champagne anymore, which was surprising because yesterday it was crazy.
Robbie Kukuz has been through a few of those celebrations over the years.
Standing down on strikes. 25 postseason tickets are on sale now. Experience October baseball at Yankee Stadium this fall. Postseason tickets are going fast, so visit Yankees.com/postseason today. Audi scoreboard 5-1 Yankees. And the Red Sox lead the Blue Jays 4-0, bottom of the 6th inning. Chopped in front of the mound. Free. And the ball not caught there by Goldschmidt, so Baldwin will reach.
A free call that you hurt him, and he had to wheel it quickly, and he got the ball low. Goldschmidt not able to pick it, kind of going into the runner makes it an extremely tough play. He was kind of trying to pick it and get his hand out of the way at the same time. That's going to be scored a base hit.
Do you almost think that that's Rice's ball more than Fried's?
Well, yeah, but when the pitcher calls it and as Max Fried is a Gold Glover, you kind of out of it. But yeah, it is an easier play for a catcher going forward if you can get out of your crouch and get there.
Because I don't think the ball left the dirt around home plate. It didn't get to the grass. But Fried's so good, 3 Gold Gloves. You expect him to make the play.
You see, Rice got late breaking down on that knee. He was a little late getting out behind the plate. So Max Fried did call, and a good throw. He's got him at first base.
2-1.
Yeah, this is one of those outings that Max Fried is really going to have to battle. He hasn't had great command, but all of a sudden, you're in the 5th inning.
So looks like you want Michael A. Taylor.
Even on the nights where he really has to grind, he's able to get outs.
Foul back to the screen.
We talk about using both sides of the plate, that change up away, and then all of a sudden that little cutter or slider in on his hands. It just absolutely ate up Taylor.
Fifth inning, 5-1 Yanks. Chases a pitch way
Got him, yes.
Max Fried. Now we always celebrate that. The 6 Yankee strikeout brought you by Audi and the 2025 Audi Q6. Visit your local tri-state Audi dealer today.
I think our parlay bet, it was Aaron Judge hit a home run.
Yep.
Fried 6+ strikeouts, and then there was a hit by somebody. Who was it?
Jeff Chisholm.
So when I put that $1 million on it, we just won a bunch of money.
Right, so you're going home for the next 4 games.
Well, in the 4th inning, we can do another one.
If you did that parlay, you cashed a ticket. Now, Max Fried is the type of guy that doesn't get hard contact. So the hit by Baldwin was the 30th infield hit allowed by Fried this season. That's tied for most of the majors. Christopher Sanchez.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating at times. But, every once in a while you'll get a line drive at somebody, and you think they even out. They don't. But Max Fried, you're right. With as much soft contact and things that he gets, he's able to give up a lot of infield hits.
And that's loud, yes.
He took the smart play, got the easy out. Like really, at his angle, you saw him almost just lob it. He had no chance of really getting that out at second base.
So ball one and second. Here's Curtis Mead, 0 for 2 against Fried. And a strike, the change.
Number 29, Curtis Mead.
73 pitches for the Yankee lefty. One and one. Good breaking ball. You've got 7 pitches that he uses.
Yeah, and you saw the cutter before. Well, that's just a bigger version of it with the big breaking ball. So, you know, as a hitter, you're seeing so many angles, so many spins that it's just very confusing. And this is where he has gone to that changeup away a lot to the right-handed hitters tonight.
The 1-2. Blocked by Rice. There's a little bit of a test. Rice has not caught Fried all year, but they want Rice's bat in the lineup in playoff games. And Fried's going to be pitching big playoff games for the Yankees if things go according to plan. So the fact that they can work together is something they wanted to check out.
Yeah, the last couple of weeks, Rice's bat has been so hot. The last thing you want to do is, you know, put him on the bench.
That one is looped.
Got him, yes.
Hospital in New York Yankees. Kyle Tucker has not had the season that he wanted after being traded from the Astros to the Cubs. They're free agent at the end of the year. Currently on the 10-day IL with a left calf strain. Could return Friday. Last played September 2nd. Ben Rice takes a strike as we start the bottom of the 5th inning. Yankees lead 5-1. Big spot in this game. The 3-run home run by Aaron Judge in the second, giving him 50 on the year. 50 or more home runs 4 times in his career. Ponchos are coming out. It's starting to rain a little bit again here at the stadium. High fly ball, deep left field. Jumps back, still back, and he makes the play in front of the warning track to retire Rice. Rice had a triple his last time up, so the Yankees have actually, as a team, hit for the cycle.
Oh, Rice is just continually having good at-bats. It's another good swing, just driven to the wrong part of the ballpark, deepest part out there in left center field.
There's Goldschmidt. RBI single, last time up, 1 for 2. And there's a strike from Cannon. Ellard started. Cannon came on to get the final out of the first inning. And now entering his 4th full inning of work. And he almost fell and held on to the ball. So that's considered a pitch clock violation. That'll be a ball, 1-1. On Goldschmidt. The RBI by Goldschmidt is 45th of the year. Averaging 279, 10 home runs. The Yankees have gotten good overall production from first base with the combination of Goldschmidt and Rice. 2-2. So by clinching yesterday, we see Tyler Alexander walking. Aaron Boone joined the Dodgers' Dave Roberts as the second manager in baseball history to make the playoffs in 7 of his first 8 seasons. Strike 3, Goldschmidt down looking.
Cannon has made some good pitches, and he likes to spin the ball late in the count. This one kind of stays up. Goldschmidt is hoping maybe I'll get the call. Not the case.
Now, in terms of Yankee history when it comes to Boone, he's the 3rd Yankee manager to make it in 7 of his first 8 seasons. Now, that doesn't mean, he and Robertson, he won 7 of his first managerial seasons, 8 seasons. But this is 7 of his first 8 seasons managing the Yankees. The other one's Casey Stengel, who made it in 9 of his first 10 seasons, won 7 titles. And then Joe Torre, who made it every single year of his 12 seasons.
It's a pretty good run.
And he won 4 titles. Shallow center. Montgomery says he'll take it, and he does. The bullpen last 11 games has struggled, and he was hit by Tarek Skubal. Go to the hospital.
Catcher with 7 Edgar Guerrero.
When you saw the video, a horrific sight, but Skubal was upset, and it was just, every once in a while, as a hitter, you lose it, you cannot get out of the way. He was actually bunting, I think, right?
Yep, he was. Ground ball McMahon.
Got him, yes.
Another big game going on. It just shows you where Paul Skeens is in the scheme of things in Major League Baseball. He had 6 shutout innings, and he'll end his season with a 1.9.
Let's wait, Miguel. My God.
That's something.
And right now, they're in the bottom of the 8th inning in Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh leads the Reds 2-1, bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah, young phenom, probably the Cy Young winner in the National League. When you start seeing sub-2 for starting pitches, that brings back like Bob Gibson and the greats like that.
The mound was a little higher. 1-1. On Vargas. Rain coming down a little bit harder here in the top of the 6th inning. Yankees lead this one 5-1.
You look and think about that Cy Young. I was just talking about it, and King Felix out in Seattle kind of broke the mold. That it wasn't the league leader in wins every year anymore. And Skeens went into this game 10-10, but sub 2 ERA with an opportunity to end the season at 11-10. That's pretty impressive.
Life moves, and so should your connection. Get fast and reliable speeds on the network that moves with you. Spectrum.
So that's the first walk issued by Max Fried. And that'll bring up Montgomery. He's 2 for 2 with a single and a double so far. 1-0. Yankees up by 4. Toronto down by 4. End of the 7th inning at Rogers Center. Line and caught by Goldschmidt.
Got him, yes.
Welcome back. 6 and 3. Double play. 6 innings in the books for free. Monitor Einstein scoreboard. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, Anthony Volpe will lead off. Tyler Alexander, the new White Sox pitcher. McMahon and
Shortstop 11, Anthony Volpe.
lefties for Alexander, but they'll start off with the righty Volpe. Volpe doubled and scored in the 2nd. Fly ball center in the 3rd. And the pitch. 1 and 2. Fly ball shallow left center. Schultz come on, and he makes the play. Now, we told you the calculus that the Yankees have. If they hit 2 home runs or more in a game, they'll win 70% of those games. But the thought process is, well, when they don't hit home runs, they don't win games. Well, they didn't win a home run yesterday, and they ended up winning that game. So they are 14 and 22 when they do not hit a home run in a game. And you say, well, is that bad? No, it's not the 4th best record in all of Major League Baseball.
Well, this day and age, so much is based on home runs, and teams are set up to hit home runs. And, when you don't hit home runs, a lot of times you're shut out. But the Yankees have scrapped some wins without hitting home runs.
So their winning percentage when they don't hit a home run is .389. The Major League Baseball average when a team doesn't hit a home run is .320. So the Yankees are well above average when they don't hit one over the wall. The 0-2. McMahon with a fly ball to center field. Taylor is there. 2 outs. And here's Grisham. Grisham walked twice. And
So fields on the 12, Trent Grisham.
And a strike from Alexander. Alexander DFA'd by Milwaukee in June. Picked up by the White Sox. Started off well, but a 7.11 ERA in 15 games since August. 0-2. Former 2nd-round pick of the Tigers in 2015 out of TCU. Swing and a miss. Strong inning for Tyler Alexander as the Yankees were down in order.
In Connecticut. And
What
over
does
the last
the
2
50
years through that
Linden
foundation,
Salsa?
They've raised over $700,000 to help those who need IVF and are having fertility problems that want to start a family.
Got him, yes.
So he's one of the 30 nominees for the Roberto Clemente Award. One down here in the 7th, and that'll bring up Jolks.
Fields looking to Roy Jones.
Now they're keeping Fried out there because he's not going to pitch for a while. So even if the Yankees get in as a wild card, he doesn't pitch till Tuesday. And then if the Yankees actually win the division, he doesn't pitch probably till Saturday, next Saturday.
It's like an eternity for a pitcher, huh?
Boston now leads 7-0 over the Blue Jays, top of the 8th. 1-2. Added those 3 runs on a 3-run home run by Carlos Narvaez.
You're just looking at Max Fried, and now he just continues. He's been a battle somewhat tonight, but it's just great numbers. But if you look at the rotation, Michael, the last 44 games, the starting rotation's 20-7, most of baseball. 2.89 ERA, which leads all of baseball. And nearly 6 innings a start, which is third to Cleveland and Philadelphia. So the overall team record, 29-15. A lot has to do with the starting rotation.
2-2. Swing and a miss.
God, yes.
And this October, Brooklyn Nets basketball is back on yes as coach Jordy Fernandez leads a fresh new squad loaded with young talent. Tune in October 4th for the first preseason game on yes and the Gotham Sports app.
Was fresh in the read, or you just threw that in there?
Was fresh. No, it was in the read. I just accentuated it. Sold. You know, postseason baseball kind of makes strange bedfellows because Yankee fans, Paul, they have to be rooting for the Red Sox these last couple of days.
Now, you didn't know who to root for coming into the series, depending on what the Yankees are doing. But, you know, if the Yankees care of business.
Right, you have to root.
Of course, you want Toronto to lose.
And if the Yankees were losing, then you want Toronto to win.
Right.
On Brooks Baldwin. Reached on a slow roller in front of the plate. That free kind of bounced to Goldschmidt. It was an infield hit. That was in the 5th inning. So Baldwin's 1 for 2. The 2-1. Foul ball off the foot of Baldwin. To sell it.
That's right. Just throw it to first. Maybe I'll get an easy out.
Two strikes, 2 outs. We're at the top of the 7th. Yankees lead 5-1. Now 3-2. And the 3-2. He walked him. 2-out walk to Baldwin. The Yankees baseball on the ice is brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. And by Delta, the official airline of the New York Yankees. Delta, keep climbing. Fernando Cruz heating up under the watchful eye of Mike Harkey. Matt Blake will go out and talk with Fried. Not much to say, just a little bit of a stall here.
Yeah, you got 2 outs. Let's, make a couple good pitches, get out of this inning. It'll be interesting, Meredith, when you go down there tonight, as Max Fried and Rice, what it was like working together for the first time, if there was any problems or anything like that.
Let's check out the bullpen budget brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. Cruz pitched yesterday through 11 pitches. Weaver through 24. Hill through 10. I would say that everybody's available tonight.
You know as well as I do, Michael, as important as these games are coming down the wire, if you've got an opportunity to win the American League East, guys are going to be available that weren't available during the season.
Left fielder looks like Michael A. Taylor.
Driven out to right field, slicing. Foul.
That's your toughest call right there at our angle, huh?
Yeah, we don't see right down the line. Let's just look at the ump.
Michael, change up the way.
Let's do that.
Curveball.
Something else. Well, if he doesn't get Taylor, I think he's going to be done. He's at 106, so they're not going to push him much more than this. On deck is Micah. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on. The lefty deals. High fly ball. Right field drifting back is Judge.
Got him, yes.
Second strong for Max Fried. He gives up 1 run. At the end of 6.5 innings of play, as the Yankees.
Right field to the 99, Aaron Judge.
Slow for an after replay, kind of a different hit than this one.
Yeah, a little bit of blast. This is Glass, a 3-run homer, number 50. Yeah, I said 50 on the year. They just got another blooper just to raise that average up. So we can try to lead the American League in hitting also.
So that'll bring up Bellinger, sitting on 29 home runs. 1-0.
Left field to the 35, Cody Bellinger.
That was a strike. Right now, Judge hitting 327. Jacob Wilson of the Athletics hitting 318. Judge trying to win his first batting title. See, that's what I find that's so some of the people that are debating the Raleigh Judge MVP race, how many people hit 50 or more home runs and win a batting title?
Yeah, he is so well-rounded in everything he does. Raleigh, don't get me wrong, has had a historic season, but it's just Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge. He does things that he's in a league of his own.
Track, 1 foot on the track, he makes the play to retire Bellinger. Support America's military and first responder heroes. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at T2T.org. Paul Blackburn and Devin Williams heating up. Yankees lead by 4. Bottom of the 7th.
Well, you talk about the rotation, the numbers I went through, and Devin Williams has had kind of a resurgence also. He absolutely has been throwing the ball much better than he did earlier in the year.
Yes!
Two of the guys with the highest exit velocities in baseball, little younger to pick up singles.
That's enough for Stanton. You got Dominguez going to come in and pinch run. Hopefully, every once in a while, a little blooper will change your outlook and come back tomorrow. You feel much better about yourself. And you know as well as I do, when Stanton is hot, he can do a lot of things offensively. That ball jammed it, but he stayed through it. We don't have to question that he's strong enough to jam it to the outfield, right?
So Dominguez a pinch runner. Judge at second, Dominguez at first, and here's Ben Rice, lefty against lefty. Rice with a triple and a run scored in 3 at-bats.
Just between two Ben Rice.
Boston 7, the Blue Jays nothing. Here are the scores of interest in the races. Cleveland 3-1 over Detroit, top of the 7th. Cincinnati just tied up Pittsburgh, and the Cubs lead the Mets 5-0.
Oh, what a comeback there in the 9th for the Reds.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, the Mets all the way down again against the Cubs. And what a comeback they had. So there's been a lot of exciting baseball here coming down to the wire.
So that means Skeens loses the win. Doesn't get lost, but he will not be above 500.
Yeah.
3-1. 3-2.
At-bats tonight, every single one of them have been hit hard. And, they're not all going to fall, but boy, you just want him in the lineup because he's putting good at bat every day.
So Goldsmith gets an opportunity to bat against a left-hander. Only bottom of the 7th inning. First and second, 2 outs. Yankees lead 5-1. Pitch upstairs. So a strong 7 innings for Max Fried. Yankees will ask the bullpen to get the final 6 in some combination. OPS against left-handed pitching. 278 overall. Snap from the first. Good play there by Vargas to keep that from going into right field. So against right-handed pitching, 248.
Was müsste der Projekt Paul Goldschmerz.
2-2. And the pitch. Strike three. Goldschmidt knew it. Another good change. 0-2. Fly ball right field, Judge.
Ja, der Bias.
Life moves, and so should your connection. Get fast and reliable speeds on the network that moves with you. Spectrum.
Like you're starting to see a little rain come down.
I see that.
You know how fans run on the field sometimes and they get in trouble?
Right.
If I see Danny Cunningham come out on the field,
You're gonna run?
I'm going to run out there.
Wow.
You know, we get to the 8th inning, it's 5-1. We don't need any commotion out there other than me chasing Danny Cunningham down the target.
I think the guy that chases Bellino, he's a crew chief. Yeah, he's just
Du bist between nine Curtis Mead.
You know, I asked a question earlier, which I knew the answer to, but we were going to use it as a trivia question later on in the week.
Yeah.
And you know, so many people are texting me.
You gotta let the
Gotta tell people the only people to hit 50 home runs and winning batting title. Mickey Mantle in 1956,
Yeah.
when he won the Triple Crown, and Jimmy Fox. That's it in baseball history.
It's funny, I got a text from my nephew, Michael, who actually played with him.
Yeah.
He's a good friend with him. And he sent me the same thing, and I didn't let the cat out of the bag. I was going to hold close to, it's going to be a trivia question. You just broke loose.
Well, you know what? The whole world knows it would look kind of dumb if we don't say it. Fly ball in the center field.
Ja, der Bias.
It's easy to say he's out of the truck. He's a long way away. If he was in the booth, he'd be like pinocchling on the head right now.
He's a strong guy, too.
Pierwszy postawiony Edgar Cuero.
So here is Edgar Carroll. 0 for 3 against Free. 2 outs here in the 8th. Yankees lead 5-1. 0-1. Don't see him throw the cutter much. Those are 2 cutters. Usually fastball change.
Yeah, he's got to have something that's hard that he can control. If he can throw that for a strike, then it just makes this changeup unhittable.
There's the 4-seamer. He's got good velocity on it today. 96. He's usually at 94.
you think that was a really good changeup? It was a mix-up because that didn't look easy behind the plate.
Just missed with the fastball. So many different roles for Williams. First closer, did pitch well, then tried to build back up, got the closer again, then he didn't pitch well, and now you can see that Boone really trusts him. He's really high left depth. You're going to see him in big spots in the postseason.
Left depth, is that a new one?
Yeah, it just came up. Chop. Fielded there by Go Footsteps.
Got him, yes.
So Booster, 33 years old, only his second major league season. It's final in Toronto. Red Sox win 7-1, so if the Yankees hold on, they will be in a tie for first place. We know, though, they lose the tiebreaker, so they still have to gain another game to take control of the East. If you think about it, when the Yankees went into Toronto and got slapped around in that series, you could never have imagined this being the case on, what is it, September 24th.
Yeah, there's been some weird things happening in the last couple of weeks. We've talked about Detroit, now you're talking about Toronto. Houston's going to have to make a run because they fell back. Seattle went ahead.
Last time the Yankees and the Blue Jays were tied, you have to go back to July 2nd. Ground ball second base, line drop. Gets Chisholm. One away. Here's Anthony Volpe.
Shortstop 11, Anthony Volpe.
And he scored in the second inning. And there's a strike.
I know team camaraderie is really important, right, Michael? But I just watched Janus's meet. He grounded out to second, and you walk back to the dugout, and guys are high-fiving you and patting you. You know, it's like I don't understand what just happened there. Am I missing something? You know, you're frustrated as a player. You didn't get a hit. I don't want to high-five you for grounding out to the second baseman. Just saying that.
So if somebody did that to you, would you snap?
No, but I mean, you want results in baseball. You know good swings sooner or later will get you results. But the last thing I want to do is high-five my teammate after I just hit a 16 hopper to second base.
So let me amplify for all of you what a big deal it is that the Yankees could be tied, same record as the Blue Jays, if they win this game. Last Wednesday morning, Paul, right? A week ago, the Blue Jays had a 5-game lead over the Yankees. That was a week ago. Since then, the Blue Jays are 1-6, and the Yankees are 3 outs away from going 6-1.
Yeah, there's been some amazing finishes here. Anxious to see what's going to happen this weekend.
Right back to Booser. And he gets Volpe for out number 2. This Copper telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. There's Ryan McMahon. Rounded foul.
And the reason the Blue Jays, even if the Yankees win tonight, they'll be tied in the division. But the Blue Jays 8-5 against the Yankees this year, so
That could loom very large.
Number 7 Why McMahon.
0-2 on McMahon, who's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. A little bit high, 1-2. McMahon. In the 9th inning, it'll be Vargas, Montgomery, and Sosa. Now the Yankees will try to close this out. The 3-2. And McMahon works a
Oh boy, yes.
Boucher was adamant about throwing that curveball for a strike. He threw 3 or 4 of them in a row. Not able to put McMahon away.
Zawiedzę podłączyć Grisham.
One on first, held by Vargas. Here's Grisham. Runner goes. That one's drilled deep to right center field. There it goes.
Oh my, yes.
With so many breaking balls, Grisham sat on a fastball and didn't miss it.
34 home runs, 74 runs batted in. What a season for Grisham. Judge swings over the cut. 0-1.
That fastball right there. Grisham knew right off the bat. Little bat flip. Down to the bullpen and a nice catch.
High drive. Right center field. That ball in.
Oh my, yes.
Just getting that feeling by watching him the last few days. His swings are just locked in. He's starting to see pitches. The sudden Michael back years. 51 hit in the same night for Aaron Judge.
And his 46th multi-home run game as a Yankee. 51 home runs, 109 runs batted in.
Some guys are just better than others, and you're watching it the best right now.
Center field off the bat of Bellinger, and out of ball as Taylor makes a play. For the
And you know, you're right, Michael. You said earlier, aren't we starting to take it for granted? It just, if you know how hard this game is, you can't take it for granted because the things he's doing, it's just out of control.
Well, Blackburn takes over on the mound, trying to get the final 3 outs. Fly ball center field. Grisham is there to make.
Got him, yes.
We'll refresh him on the clues. They're saying it's a catcher. Joel Skinner. Good guy, too.
I played against him in the minor leagues. He has way back in the vault there. Look, didn't even cover the screen.
Yeah, good arm. Family got a history in the game as well. Got some power into the Yankee bullpen in Kansas City and into the Bronx night.
What's up, Colson Montgomery?
This to the outfield. He took the catcher's job, but he lost it because he didn't hit enough. The Blue Jays have lost 7-1 to the Red Sox. One and two. Yankees got him from Ron Kittle and Wayne Tellison. How about that 36.3% caught stealing rate? And Bob and Joel Skinner are one of 6 father-son managerial duos in Major League Baseball history. An announced crowd of 37,751 as the rain coming down a little harder there, taking some cover. And Montgomery trying to walk off the hurt.
Get their money's worth there, huh? Let's pull out the aluminum poncho and just play on.
They're serenading Judge in the outfield now with MVP chants.
Got him, yes. One more out the way.
That's all coming up on the WB Mason Yankees postgame. Must be a good feeling to be that great at something.
I was almost just, well, what do you feel like? Okay? Because it's normal to him, and it's everybody else is just an all.
Down the right field line and a foul ball. 2 outs here in the ninth. Blackburn trying to close it out. Freed went 7. Williams is scoreless 8. And now Paul Blackburn. Line drive and a base hit over the head of Volpe into left center field. To the White Sox alive as Bellinger gets the ball and a 2-out single for Sosa.
Pitcher with 27, Will Robertson.
Jokes.
Oh, this could be it. Yeah, we won. Yes.